Since last we spoke on the topic, the assassin of Charlie Kirk has in fact been apprehended, and in a certain extent, he has in fact admitted to the crime. Not like a direct admission or anything like that. He is still being very uncooperative, but unfortunately for him, he has quite an extensive digital footprint, and well, it's been quite elucidating as to how somebody who so seemingly grew up in normal confines in Utah in a upper middle class family with a law enforcement background. In regards to his father, there's a bunch of crazy stuff that I heard leading into the weekend because, this was the Thursday. Thursday would have been the last time I would have recorded something because he was still at large at this point in time. And over that subsequent evening or in the early morning hours of Friday, he had been snatched up by the authorities. And so Tyler Robinson has been in custody over the weekend. And what we have found out so far, well, as we're going to discuss throughout a lot of this video right here, a lot of it is a true and accurate description of somebody being radicalized. Now, okay, something that the left loves to say about, the right-wing radicalization that's out there that just turns all of these people so violent, which it's interesting, right? Because over the past few years, whenever we've heard about somebody being radicalized on the right, what do they end up doing? Getting a bunch of MAGA hats and going to Trump rallies, yelling about the Disney Star Wars online. Like, it's not exactly a compelling both sides argument that the left is really liking to push right now. And to be completely honest, I've known this for a while. You guys have known this for a while. This has really been that flashpoint issue that has exposed how everything that comes out of the left is nothing short of projection. So let's get into this. Charlie Kirk shooting suspect Tyler Robinson allegedly confessed to assassination online before arrest. It was me. Tyler Robinson apparently confessed to killing conservative icon Charlie Kirk in an online message to nearly 3 dozen people the day after the assassination. Hey guys, I have bad news for all of you, read the chat message reportedly sent by Robinson, 22, through the online community Discord, according to the Washington Post. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this. I'm surrendering through a sheriff friend in a few moments. Thanks for all the good times, the laughs. You've all been so amazing. Thank you all for everything. All right. The message was sent, Thursday night around 2 hours before Robinson was apprehended from an account on the platform tied to the suspect. A screenshot of the conversation, which had been sent to about 30 people, was obtained by the outlet, through an anonymous member of the group that had not been independently verified by the Post. Discord previously claimed it, but found no evidence that the suspect planned the incident or promoted violence on Discord. Well, that's really interesting because in a follow-up post, the FBI is probing a possible extended network that aided and abetted suspected Charlie Kirk shooter. Interesting, huh? The FBI's number 2 man said Monday that he suspects Charlie Kirk's alleged killer, Tyler Robinson, could have been aided and abetted by an extended network, alluding to multiple warning signs he gave leading up to the assassination. The Post reported Sunday, another press conference or something I think took place. I did my best to stay off the internet from Friday until early Monday because this is, really heavy stuff, and just taking the stock of my life and being grateful for what I have. That was taking a lot more precedent over staying on top of the news, and it's likely going to stay like that until I think the end of the month. But I digress. Law enforcement was already probing whether pro-trans online groups, sexualized animal-obsessed furries, and other connected with Robinson have advanced knowledge of his alleged murderous plans. Wow, big shock on that one for all of those affiliated communities. The groups included communities on the online gaming platform Steam. Oh, okay. God, that shit reads like, the noted online hacker 4chan, as well as Armed Queers SLC, which took down its Instagram page after Kirk was murdered. Interested. FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino suggested that the feds are casting an even wider net, scrutinizing whether anyone in the crowd, including possibly the TikToker who was asking Kirk a question at the moment of his murder, which, that's, for all of the conspiracy theories that I have seen around there, and a lot of it's like, oh my God, the Jews did it. I don't think a lot of that ends up holding water. It's just, as far as I'll go on that one, I think Kirk was starting to get wise to just how corrupt the state of Israel is. Something that a lot of people on the right over the past year or two had really starting to come around on, and he really seemed to be turning that corner, or at least asking some proper questions, trying to get to the bottom of that. But was that really the reason why he ended up getting shot last week? I don't quite think so. But the fact that he was answering a question seemingly out of the blue about mass shootings and then all of a sudden he gets shot, I mean, I kind of think that this wasn't that whole lone gunman, one singular head case situation. And in regards to what the FBI knows, well, FBI Director Kash Patel on Charlie Kirk's assassin's motives, we learned, yes, some shocking things as we spoke to Tyler's family and friends as well. His families have collectively told investigators that he subscribed to left-wing ideology, and even more so in the last couple of years. Many had a text message exchange, the suspect, with another individual in which he claimed he had an opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and he was going to do it because of his hatred for what Charlie stood for. And we don't know if that was a conversation that he was having, which the Utah governor would add some additional information that we can confirm that his roommate was a boyfriend who was transitioning from male to female, and Charlie Kirk's stance, which I know is super radical, so just trigger warning here, guys. Men are men and women are women. Hopefully you got through that very traumatic revelation. But because he was very vocal of the reality of the world, I guess that made him enemy number one for Robinson. But just simply going back to, he subscribed to a left-wing ideology, and even more so in the last couple of years, this is somebody who has tumbled down the left-wing rabbit hole. Somebody who bought in hook, line, and sinker that there are Nazis and fascists and bigots and sexists and homophobes around every single corner. And if you don't do something about that, well, you are just as complicit as the people saying those actions. And this is what happens, man. Years and years, a decade plus of dehumanization from the left leads to a situation like this. Listening to voices like, well, two we're going to take a look at right here, and two that have just made absolute assholes, even more so of themselves, because it's interesting, right? Because when I was thinking about it last week when we were talking about this subject, it's like I couldn't imagine hating somebody as much as, well, who we would eventually find out to be Tyler Robinson hates Charlie Kirk. I don't really think I have that much excess emotion for really anybody. I love my parents. I love myself. That's about it. Everybody else I have passing levels of appreciation and respect for, but when it comes to all of that additional stuff over the top, I don't really have that much extra emotion, positive or negative wise. If I'm to put somebody up there for somebody that I think is most detestable, it would have to be Destiny. I think that he's an absolutely repugnant individual. But even still, like, if something bad was to happen to him, which I am not wishing for at all whatsoever, okay, his existence alone, I think, is much more of a personal hell than anything that could happen to him. And so, if anything were to happen, I would not celebrate his passing. I would not celebrate any damage. I would not celebrate any violence inflicted upon him. I would probably look at the news and go, oh well, and then just move on with the rest of my day. Because that's normally whenever I see Destiny clips or any other streamers that I don't like, any of the left-wing nut jobs that are out there, I'll just look at that and either chuckle at how insane they are or just scroll on with the rest of my day. They literally do not take up any excess time in my mind unless we're talking about them in the specific context in which they are relevant. And so, when Piers Morgan assembled a panel to talk about the assassination of Charlie Kirk, he got Jack Posobiec, a very close and strong friend of Charlie, okay, Andrew Wilson, kind of the go-to guest for Piers Morgan when he assembles these panels, and the absolute foil of Destiny, Anna Kasparian. I don't even know if she's still with the Young Turks. Again, it's like, it's somebody that has said some absolutely stupid shit for a long time in the Young Turks. Like, unless they get brought up in common parlance like this, I don't think of them at all whatsoever. But yeah, she's up there on the panel as well, and I haven't really heard her say anything about this. But yeah, and watching a lot of these clips on Piers Morgan, like Destiny, like if I had a really poor opinion of him beforehand, it has dropped even more precipitously, which is just absolutely wild. We'll play some of these clips because a lot of them are fairly extended, and I don't want to subject you to this Ritalin addicted, CP enthusiast as much as I can. So we'll just listen to some of this stuff. Okay, so you inflame the temperature, you're mocking his widow. Piers Morgan eviscerates an unhinged Destiny for mocking Erica Kirk because he's a real stand-up individual, guys.
Grieving widow of Charlie Kirk when she posts an image of her at the coffin side. Why do you think that constitutes turning down the temperature?
You can't turn down the temperature on your own. The president of the United States is not
the temperature.
able
You're
to...
mocking his widow. You're mocking his widow.
We've had multiple political assassinations over the past year. What do you mean?
and which side is perpetuating those attempts and the actual successful assassination? I'm just wondering, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, this all needs to be on Trump because he needs to turn down the rhetoric. Which rhetoric are we talking about here, Destiny? Can we provide any receipts, or do you just want to say Orange Man bad? He's the one who's out there calling the radical left, or the unhinged Democrats, the unhinged Democrat. He's the one that needs to start turning down the rhetoric, not the side that says that their opposition are Nazis and fascists, and they're the ones that are out there supporting the eradication of people, that no individual is illegal, and that if you want to go ahead and support proper border control, you are the one calling for a genocide. Yeah, no, it's both sides that need to call for the turning down of the temperature, but especially the side that is on the business end of all the violence. Yeah, makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
It's turning up the temperature.
Why did you mock his widow?
Online
Why did you mock his widow?
Because she's being used as a political weapon right now
Wow.
for conservatives to continue their fight. What do you mean, wow? She's literally doing
her husband just got murdered
on email.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Oh, she tagged him in an Instagram post. I mean, what? That's your big gotcha, okay? And she's being used as a pawn. She was very much a part of Turning Point USA, okay, and still is at this very point in time. I think, when did she have her address? I think that was Friday or Saturday or something like that, and she went up there and she spoke, and addressed the Turning Point, and I think it was addressed like she addresses the nation or something like that. And yeah, she's very much going to try to continue on and carry on Charlie's legacy as a good wife would, okay? So congratulations. And I hope one day that everybody can have a spouse that is of that high moral character. But because Destiny knows zero love in his life, this is just a foreign concept to him. So yes, it's a big gotcha for him. What a piece of shit.
Yeah, and she's using it to drive up recruitment for
and
a
you
political
can't even
movement.
condemn the murder. You won't condemn it.
Can't even tell his side
You're
to
so
turn the temperature
deranged
down.
about Trump.
And he says that with a smile. Yeah, you can't even condemn the assassination. Oh, the president needs to turn down that rhetoric. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because you got Destiny. Yeah, calls for conservatives to be. Well, I'll just go ahead and let him say it.
Shout the crime statistics.
Not exactly like.
You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events, so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature.
What exactly is he doing right now? He is trying to enact the shit that he is laying out for the world to see. Yeah, no, exactly. This is all staged by Destiny, okay? He wants to go out there. He is the perfect example whenever I think, okay? Because it took me a while to come around to this, because I generally like to think that there is good in everybody that is out there, even if they are detestable, despicable individuals. But whenever we're talking about leftists, and specifically these types that are out there, they always project their own insecurity and malicious tendencies on everybody else. It's all, oh, you're a grifter. It's like, you just want to talk about stuff. Oh, you're doing it for the money. It's like, no, I think that this is important, and I think that it's not about the money at all. Who brought money into this conversation? Oh, you're just simply trying to virtue signal. No, again, it's an important cause, and something gets discussed on the regular, but it's a deflection and dishonesty. And this right here, I mean, like Jack if you don't know, but if you do, like Posobiec and Kirk had a show together. They have been attached at the hip since like 2016 or something like that. This is a huge loss for Jack personally, as well as so many other people that are out there. So he is, obviously very emotionally tied to the situation. I sped it up, or not sped it up, I just moved it along a little bit, because he's talking an awful lot about his friend, and it's kind of emotional, and it's really fucking sad. And well, I just want to get to the Destiny being the scumbag part of this.
Because someone fired a bullet at Charlie Kirk that said, "Hey, fascist, catch." And now you have people celebrating it. And when you ask people
That's
about
not even
it,
the
they
bullet
say,
that was fired.
"Oh,
How are you lying about this?
Shut
even?
up, Destiny.
Holy
shut up.
Shit. You're so
Shut
shameless,
up.
dude. Oh my.
Oh, by the way, a lot of the ammunition, and I'm pretty sure every piece of ammunition that was recovered at the scene of the crime was stamped with different leftist talking points that's on it. So once again, this is Destiny being just Destiny, really.
My God, you're not even sight the right bullet. You're such a disgusting piece of shit. Holy fuck.
What a pedantic.
He's trying to say that Posobiec's a piece of shit. This is just like, it's so wild. And these are the voices on the left that radicalized Tyler Robinson. I would imagine you get into the Discord calls. I would imagine once we get more of the information that is out there, what were the circles that were running, that he was running in? What were voices that that led to his radicalization? I would imagine DGG, or whatever the fuck he calls his dumbass community, is probably very much at the forefront there. Somebody who, again, on Piers Morgan, refused to condemn the assassination and says that conservatives need to be afraid and that the orange man really is the problem. And like I said before, I'm pretty sure it was in the first of the Charlie Kirk videos that we did on on Thursday. I guess you would have seen them on Friday. I recorded them on Thursday. This is what happens when the left doesn't get their way. And Destiny, well, he just goes out there and says it, man. Okay.
I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term. Every time he's...
There you go. There you go. Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term. If you wanted Charlie Kirk, you guys just should have just continued to lie down and take it. You should have just allowed the radicals to go ahead and run the asylum. We should have just gotten our way, and now that we haven't, all of your lives are at risk. This is the type of rhetoric that is out there, and it's not just from Destiny, it's also from the biggest voice over there on Twitch. Yes, of course, we're talking about Hasan himself. And this is a little compilation of some of Hasan's greatest hits that have been viewed millions of times over. I've seen this video reposted from different accounts that also have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of views on them. Tectone, I think, was the one who compiled a lot of this stuff. And, well, I mean, I would play it, but I'm not entirely sure what YouTube is doing with even the dissemination of some of these clips, but feel free to watch it. I will go ahead and link out to it. But the response has been, well, it's been exactly what you would anticipate it being. Giving somebody is so blatantly pro killing the opposition. Okay, just a little summary of some of Hasan's more radical moments. Piker has called for the death of Senator Tom Cotton, Rick Scott, landlords, fascists, Zionists. Yeah, in the case of Hasan, yeah, that's interchangeable with Jewish people because he does not differentiate the Israel above all ideology that Zionists hold. He's up there with his, fat ass mods like Frogan and shit like that, ranking Jews at TwitchCon. It's just some fucking sick people that are out there. Said somebody's got to do it regarding Trump, supports Luigi Mangione, refuses to condemn the murder of 2 Israeli staffers at Washington, D.C. Oh yeah, shit, I forgot about that one. Stealthily justified the assassination of Charlie Kirk, calling him a fascist radical. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because Hasan and Charlie were supposed to debate here, I think, at the end of September, early October. But he also plays terrorist propaganda videos and stated, yes, open support for terrorist organizations, clearly protected due to constant violations of terms of service without punishment, including, just look at all of that shit. And he's caught, temporary bans for a couple of things like that, doxing and threatening viewers on stream. What was that? Less than 24 hours. I think the America Deserved 9/11 clip, that one ended up getting him, maybe a couple of days, but that was very early in his reign when he was still very much Cenk Uygur's nephew and nothing else. And now he's his own beast. But now, well, Elon Musk is on the case because he has been taking this quite personally, probably because, especially on the campaign trail this time last year, probably would have been rubbing shoulders with Charlie Kirk. And it's so wild, right? Because over the weekend, like I said, I tried to stay off social media and, just definitely kept myself in the real world for the most part. So I missed out on a lot of stuff. But one thing that I did see, because, I still do love me some sports after all, even though as pathetic as they have gotten. But one thing that was really kind of heartwarming but completely unexpected was the number of sports teams. Okay, the number of sports teams that put up, remembering Charlie Kirk graphics, and then also the crowds just being overwhelmingly supportive of that message. That was a great thing to see, from NFL games to MLB games. Like, it was pretty amazing. It was just widespread support that was out there, just letting you know that average, everyday people fucking liked and appreciated the normalized, basic bitch conservative message that Charlie Kirk was pushing. So for as many radicals like Destiny and Hasan that are out there, their day is coming, okay? We are seeing how many different people lose their jobs, not just because, they didn't want to praise Charlie Kirk, because it's one thing. Nobody's out there saying that you need to say that this guy is, a step away from sainthood. No. Just simply Don't encourage more violence, which is what Destiny is very obviously doing. Don't celebrate somebody's death. That's a little bit less tasteful, but not a violation. But either have some decency or don't break the law. And the fact that we are seeing repercussions from people who are out there openly advocating for more violence, celebrating death, being fired from their jobs, that's not cancel culture. For as much as the left wants to say, oh, we thought that the right was all about supporting free speech. Yep, for ourselves. You fuckers celebrated firing over much lesser offenses, made up, fictitious, you hurt my feelings offenses. Now this time around, when you're out there actively calling for more people to die like Asmongold, Trump, Elon Musk, time and time again, over and over again, multi-platform, and now all of a sudden, and now you're facing repercussions for your actions? Yeah, sorry, I don't give a flying fuck as you find yourself on the unemployment line. And in the case of Hasan, well, now Elon Musk is taking this shit personally. Okay, responding to the Tectone clip that was retweeted out there by Madam Savvy. Yeah, what's up here? What's up here, Jeff Bezos? And then also taking it upon himself to find other Hasan-related posts. Yeah, since Hasan wants to claim the clip, which he told to his 100,000 plus Twitch followers to go take people out, was out of context. Yeah, he just wanted to remind everybody that Hasan called for the assassination of Tom Cotton. Yes, and to his roughly 1 million followers. Yeah, that's Hasan's post on Twitter. That's what he did. Retweeting Tom Cotton with a homemade firearm, right? Yeah, paging Jeff Bezos. Elon Musk is on the case on this one. Piers Morgan is up Destiny's ass. Elon Musk is up Hasan's. And yes, the left-wing radicalization pipeline, the one that they were trying to say is just an exclusively right-wing thing, is being exposed in real time right now, and it is not long for this world. Charlie Kirk continuing to do great work even in the afterlife. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.